Right. So with that in mind, we're going to take a complete swing of the rudder and bear due indie away from all the big companies and find somebody with the small pictures as well. No Lloyds or no postage stamp pictures this week. But they're still not huge. So that's quite good because it is, of course, the indie of the week. And this week, we're going to be taking a look at some Canadians from Canada with Harwood Hobbies, the tiny little company. One-man operation out of Calgary, I think. Only has 3 ranges currently. Tiny, little, bespoke. The first one, and the reason I came here was because he does a set of Lovecraft miniatures.
I immediately like these.
Now, I don't know who the sculptor in question is, and as you go through, you'll see that not every range is completely sculpted 100% by the same sculptor. So the miniatures, whether all 28mm figures, you can see different styles of sculpting aesthetic in there. But the Lovecraft range is really nice because it has people who are changing, shall we say, over time.
I love that. You've got, this I am evil bald guy.
Yeah.
Justin. No.
We'll get to Justin. He's not in this range. He is the very first in Sinbad, though.
Right, okay.
But
then, oh my God, my creations have escaped.
Yes.
Oh, like the cat.
Yes.
Yeah. And at which point then he didn't make it out of the surgery.
That's amazing. I love that.
And also there's a very important tip for anybody who decides to roleplay Call of Cthulhu is you always save your last bullet for yourself.
Yeah.
So when the zombies are coming, don't empty the mag at them. You're just going to end up like this. Always save the last one for yourself. But we have a whole host of weird and wacky Tamara. I used to know somebody called Tamara who was also very short. I wonder if that's her.
Why am I? Is that the character from the Fear games? Tamara? I can't remember, or is it something else?
I don't know. I don't know what the Fear games are.
Yeah. Very good game.
Okie dokie.
First person spooky shooter.
All right, definitely not. Definitely not. I'll close some of these down. We have a creepy Dr. Schwartz.
And then, oh God, again, the creations have escaped.
The scared version is particularly nice. Yeah. Is it because this is coming rumbling down the corridor?
Probably, yeah.
With
something thing-like is crawling down the halls.
Well, you say thing-like, I can see very deliberate stitch marks in there. Which I'm saying Dr. Schwartz really shouldn't have done that. There's no point in being scared now.
That's actually bashful Dr. Schwartz. Oh no, what have I done?
You've made your bed, now lie in it.
All I can say is, never learn summon before you learn bind as a spell in Cthulhu. Just saying.
Yeah.
And armed, I don't think that's going to help you, matey boy. I mean,
that's amazing.
I'm fairly certain she's got the reach on you.
Yeah.
Yep. You're in.
My blade's bigger than yours. Yeah.
We have Betty Fine. Which, a set
Betty,
of 4 this time.
Betty not fine.
Betty not fine. Scared, Betty armed, and Betty zombified. Yeah. And at this point, these are all relatively generic. Cthulhu is set 1920. And these could easily work for that. I mean, he's very Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
Yes.
With his buttoned up lab coat going on. So these all work perfectly for anything 20s. But there are some modern bits and pieces. So I did say he was in Canada. There are the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So poor constable there. He did not survive contact with the enemy, apparently. Which means you could use some of these for, if you wanted to run a Walking Dead skirmish game set in Canada, you could do that. There's your hero, or maybe later on he gets bitten up. And then these, Dr. Borgesian, that looks a lot more like whoever sculpted for studio miniatures. It's that
it's up a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
And it's got a nice mug of coffee. So you have a nice blend of modern day in with the 1920s creeping unknown.
Mm-hmm.
She's even taking her pumps off to run, which makes so much sense. And I don't think you ever really see that. I can't run in these heels. Lose them. Speed is required, not fashion. Speed.
They also act as a weapon.
That is
You
true.
Whap someone with one of those.
Or maybe it's just aiming to buff the stealth roll by taking the clickety-clacks.
Maybe true,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I love these. They're a really nice set of generic civilians / armed civilians, so post-apocalyptic or just random scenery dotting to have them as the civilians. The zombie crawler and the glorp. The zombie crawler is great. I don't see enough of these in zombie form on the tabletop.
Yeah.
They seem to be very slack. Most zombies seem to have legs, which is utterly disappointing when they could be leaving a terrible mess across the floor like that.
Around. Yeah.
You look down and see somebody, tugging on your trouser leg. Could be a cat, could be a zombie crawler. Could go either way. Best not look down, just aim the gun and blam, blam, blam. And the glorp, who's a
big ooze man.
There we go. Hello.
I like to think that glorp is the sound that he makes when he tries to talk as well. I think
yeah.
Like he's like a Pokemon.
Yes. Glorp, glorp. Glorp,
as he comes claying his way towards you, like Clayface from Batman. It's a weird looking thing. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be in the scale of. There's plenty of weird stuff in mythos that it could be. It's entirely possible as a glorp, to be perfectly honest. And I just am unaware of glorpings and their glorpiness. Then we have the set of the changed. So the priest, the woman, the schoolgirl, the mechanic. We can see them all together in glorious Technicolor here.
You can see what has really changed.
Show me there. Yeah. So mechanic, priesto, creepy kid with half a teddy bear, and the lady who doesn't look too well. Again.
So that's why the priest's weird.
Oh, don't worry. They all get there in the end. Because there's a more advanced version.
Oh, okay.
I think is the way to put it. But you'll see those later on where they've gone full.
You've got hazmat people, isn't that? That's cool.
Yeah. So you're Delta Green, you've got your modern day hazmats, suited and booted. You've got some sort of heroic type. I imagine about to be surrounded and pulled down by all the creepy people. Ruby, Mr. Carswell, who is either summoning something, and I really hope he's learned bind, or Mr. Carswell is just a big metalhead.
Maybe, yeah.
Lovecraft summoner.
Why can't he be both?
That's true. Yeah.
That is true.
He's summoning Satan to fight Cthulhu by the ways of heavy metal.
Yeah.
That makes
My
sense.
lord is darker than you.
We also have cultists.
Well, I like the demonic dweller. That's cool.
There he is. He arrives and discovers that Cthulhu's about 200 times the size, radioactive, and just goes back to hell immediately. So
it
range
just
of
gets turned back into ectoplasm. Yeah,
cultist types. We also have creepy zombie clowns.
Of course. Yep.
And the choo-choos. Almost undoubtedly how it's not pronounced, but it's how I've always pronounced it. They are actually a Cthulhu race. They're
really
they're like near humans from South Asia. So think more evil pygmy.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Some more proper 1920s flapper girls and stuff. So just a really nice little set of Cthulhu figures.
Definitely.
Obviously,
cool.
You don't want to be playing your RPGs with miniatures. That's just wrong. So you can
play 7TV with these, of course.
Hello.
Yeah, so yeah.
But yeah, apart from the
that's fun.
The Lovecraftian, there is Sinbad. And apparently,
I see. There he is.
Yep. Right off the bat, just in.
Yeah.
So this was the first range that I believe Harwood Hobbies started with.
Cool.
It was specifically because he wanted to do a range based on the classic Harryhausen films. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, something like that. It's been so long, so very, very long since I've seen them. But these are absolutely gorgeous.
They're amazing, yeah.
I suppose heroic pulp fantasy. I mean, Sinbad's it comes from Arabian Nights originally before it got Hollywooded up. So it's a very, very old tale.
Yeah, definitely.
But it means you've got a line of Arabian style, shall we say, heroes and villains, all with that sort of Hollywood-esque twist to them. The Kali cultist leader.
The Dervish Avenger. Oh, he's cool.
Yeah.
Or she's cool. Whichever.
Oh, they're all cool. Yeah, coming at you with Chris.
Oh, I love these. Yeah.
And this is an unusual little line because you rarely see people leaning heavily on the Arabian side of fantasy.
Yeah, we don't tend to see a lot of that, do we? Yeah.
Western biased, I suppose.
Oh, so cool. That is a D&D character waiting in the wings.
Some sort of thief / assassin.
Yeah.
Assassin.
I have a blade for every enemy.
Big curvy swords,
Yeah.
which is always good. What else we got? Dragon familiars. I suppose I'll have to, because otherwise I'll get told off for not showing dragons. Tiny
I like
dragons.
That. Yeah. These dragons are far away.
These dragons are bounced on top of a packet of cigarettes to give you an idea of size. I'm not sure how
the ultimate reference material.
But if it's any help, that's a 20 deck, kids. So just like the size of 5 vapes tied together. So I don't know. What modern.
These strange modern conversions, right?
You know that meme where Americans will use anything to avoid using the metric system? Like he was the size of 15 hamburgers. I know he's Canadian, but it feels like that. These dragons, two of these dragons, wing to wing, are the size of a packet of Lucky Strikes. Who else have we got?
Sinbad himself.
We have Sinbad himself, yeah. And we have the evil wizard.
Al-Qadar.
I haven't seen Patrick Troughton yet, the second Doctor.
It's like the thing that we always said it would be amazing if we had there was like a Prince of Persia style game. Because I remember we were thinking about doing kind of like a
side-scrolling game,
game,
a vertical board at one stage. Yeah,
but that seems like it would be something that would be ripe for miniatures and exploration.
Who owns Prince of Persia these days, though?
Ubisoft, maybe, I don't know.
And who own them? Yeah. You've got to go all the way up before
the
you find...
devil owns Ubisoft.
EA.
It's all Activision.
It's all Activision.
All the way down. A whole range of harem girls and slave girls.
Oh, I love that.
All based on the film.
That vizier.
Anybody who reads Pratchett will know, I don't know what it is, but you give a man a turban with a pointy hat in the middle and call him a vizier, and they all turn into bastards.
This is the way.
As Cohen the Barbarian says, as soon as I find one, I kill him. It saves time later. This one wears a big golden mask, and he was not a nice man either. Yeah, so a whole range of Eastern assassins and characters. And I mean, for things like...
those are brilliant. Yeah.
Ghost Archipelago and things like that, where you're playing in strange, dusty foreign lands and jungles and stuff. Having a whole crew of these would just be fantastic.
Oh yeah, this is a Frostgrave Ghost Archipelago crew in one place, isn't it? Really. Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
I mean, the characters are really, really nice.
I've just seen the snake monster. So.
Oh right, I thought you just spotted Callie.
I mean, that's cool, but the snake monster.
And this is the bit where it's,
that's so weird.
Part snake tiger god avatar. You just
quick. We need to build a monster.
With an armadillo for a back.
Yeah.
You just
I have half an action man and
A lot of Play-Doh.
I love Play-Doh. Yeah.
That's gorgeous, especially
it's
if you've
really
seen
cool.
the Sinbad films. I'm probably going to have to get her. I don't know why. I do have Indiana Jones. She could spend her time chasing Indy around a board.
Yeah.
That would
Rather
teach
than
her.
a big boulder,
Hmm.
have the avatar of Kali chasing him.
Kalima.
Yeah.
And again, more tiny people.
That's a really fun collection of stuff for
Yeah.
kind of taking fantasy in a little bit of a different direction. I really like that.
There is one other range, which is, I suppose, produced under license. It's Anna Polanska of Gardens of Hecate fame.
Oh.
So I know she has a UK distributor and a US distributor. The US one is like Smash Bash, which tends to be just lots of kit bash and painted stuff at very expensive prices. You know, like if you want this bespoke, weird guy on a horse that I've made out of 101 parts, then you can have it for like $250 type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only like a couple of models that Anna has sculpted in there that I could find. But this is pretty much the range of stuff that she put together, which is very Hieronymus Bosch meets Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay.
Very much. It's the stuff you would have seen in the margins of the Mordheim rulebook.
So you got your creepy blood fiend, you know, giant skull horse on the body of a very small thing with no arms, just running about and headbutting people.
He needs to stop horsing around.
He went there. He didn't have to go there, but he went there. Let's get shot of them. The Custodian Wraith, I really like. It's just this little. I mean, you expect the cloak to be revealed, and this very tall, spindly thing just keep unfolding and stand up.
Oh yeah,
that'd
be cool. Yeah.
That'd be a particularly good way to creep you out.
Yeah.
There's a hairy Oreo with massive nutsack coming at you.
Twist and dip.
Out of the dark. I love them. They're just so random as far as familiars for your wizards go. It doesn't look bipedally human. You know, not every familiar has to be just a tiny midget version of whatever. I like the weirdness.
It feels very much like if the Monty Python animator had decided to do
Gilligan.
some body horror.
Yeah, I can see that. There's also things like this.
A demonic snail.
The demonic snail. Anna's done a few demonic snails, and they all seem to actually use real shells as a basis and then go from there. But it's looking so tiny little snail critter. Evil face on the front.
You step on me, you die.
That's that snail that's been chasing people on the internet. You get £1 billion, but you're chased permanently by a snail. It will never stop coming. But yeah, then the set of signposts, then obviously small, medium, and large.
These look amazing for like forbidden psalms and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a really interesting little range. I heard recently that there's going to be another Kickstarter to expand this range.
Oh, brilliant!
In March or April, I believe. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just thought it was something fascinatingly different to show.
Very quirky and odd.
Yeah, I am. Thank you. So that's our indie of the week for this week. Harwood Hobbies of Canada. And I know it's not pronounced that way, and I know it really annoys some people in the chat. So, right, we should be back with some news very shortly.